Hi everyone, my name is Beatrice Muturi. I'm currently a student at the California Intercontinental University, and this is a requirement for course 6 of 5. Today we are going to be talking about conducting a correlation analysis. I'll first introduce this presentation because the data was generated using a SurveyMonkey survey asking participants who are located in the Midwest in the United States questions regarding their income, their debt, their savings, and other important personal financial factors. The agenda of this presentation includes importing data using the PSPP to conduct a correlation analysis, and we'll be looking at income and debt, income and stocks, debt and savings, savings and stocks, savings and wallet, stocks and wallet, and important takeaways at the end of the discussion. So we are going to start with savings and stocks. The first hypothesis test using the PSPP for correlation of saving and stocks. The null hypothesis states that there is no correlation between savings and stocks, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a correlation between savings and stocks. The correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using the PSPP, assuming alpha is equal to 0.05, and there was found to be a significant correlation when everything was imported and calculated using the PSP. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that a correlation exists between savings and stocks. Correlation of income and debt. This is the second hypothesis test, again using the PSPP for correlation of income and debt. The null hypothesis states that there is no correlation between income and debt, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a correlation between income and debt. The correlation coefficient and its p-value are calculated using the PSP, and no significant correlation emerged from the results. Therefore, we fail to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is no correlation exists between income and debt. The third hypothesis is the correlation between income and stocks, and the null hypothesis states that there is no correlation between income and stocks, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a correlation between income and stocks. After the correlation coefficient and its p-values were calculated using the PSPP, we find that there is a significant correlation that emerged. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a correlation that exists between income and stocks. The fourth hypothesis test was conducted to show whether there is a correlation between savings and wallet, and the null hypothesis states that there is no correlation between savings and wallet, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a correlation between savings and wallet. After the correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using the PSPP, a significant correlation emerged, and therefore we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a correlation between savings and wallet. The fifth hypothesis test was done to see whether there is a correlation between stocks and wallet, and the null hypothesis for this one is there is no correlation between stocks and wallet, and the alternative hypothesis states that there is a correlation between stocks and wallet. After the correlation coefficient and its p-values were calculated using the PSPP, a significant correlation emerged. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude there is a correlation that exists between savings and wallet. The sixth hypothesis that was done is to find whether there is a correlation between debt and savings, and the null hypothesis states that there's no correlation between debt and savings, and the alternative hypothesis states that there's a correlation between debt and savings. The correlation coefficient and its p-value again were calculated using the PSPP, assuming alpha is equals to 0.05. There was found to be a significant correlation that emerged. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there's a correlation that exists between debt and savings. Now to the important takeaways. Always know your alpha value. The use of a scatter plot is used for correlation test, and the PSPP is used for correlation testing. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please let me know, or any comments and suggestions. Thank you. Bye.